Oh, my God. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Oh, my God. Is February over yet?
Oh, I was about to say, followed by, hey, Kenny, this is the last one for Black History Month. Thank God.
Hey, he's learned a lot.
Yeah, Kenny looking going, my script tells me he played a huge role in Coming to America.
Kunta Kinte.
James Evans.
Wow.
Doesn't even get the significance of damn, do you, Kenny?
No, Kenny just reads what Roberto puts in front of him and whatever you and David approve.
I just read the writing in front of me. That's all.
He's our Ron Burgundy.
Right.
All right, let's do it because we've got people who want to rap about the Michigan State thing, and that's cool. But I have to mix this in. Look, State's at Nebraska tonight. That's a must-win game. Or is it? And the Wings, look, I understand one of the most overdone things in radio history is calling something a must-win when it's not a must-win. I get it. I've been guilty of it. Noted. But doesn't tonight's Red Wing game in specific feel like a must-win? I'll leave the Michigan State thing for a second.
It does, because it feels like for last week, Mike, while you were gone, they were the belle of the ball.
Oh, I know. Every time I check the score, I'm like, all right.
You felt like the Lions at the end of the season.
Right.
Where, okay.
They won Thursday night. You saw them in the wild card slot.
Then all of a sudden, yeah, mathematically, if the season ended today, they're in. Even talk of maybe you get out of the 8th and you move to the 7th spot and you don't have to play Boston.
Wow.
And wheels kind of start wobbling.
Well, look.
2 losses in a row.
Right, and tonight would be 3. Here's the problem. Ottawa's a rebuilding team. You can't lose back-to-back games. And last night was ugly. Last night was arguably their worst performance in 6 weeks. So I asked Kenny today, I go, Kenny, is tonight must win? And I mean, I barely got the sentence out. He's like, absolutely. And I go, okay, we have to discuss this on the show. I understand there are 20 games left. I understand a lot can happen. Maybe it seems faulty. But look, with the trade deadline looming, here's how I view it. You don't want to go into the deadline on the skids because Yzerman's a total wild card. Yzerman doesn't care about feelings. He doesn't care what we think. He's going to do it his way, and it's worked. My point is, if they don't get this thing stable, you can't lose 3-4 games in a row because you know what'll happen? Yzerman will go, yep, Bertuzzi, see ya. All our dreams about buying at the deadline, gone, dead. See, I'm viewing it that a week, the deadline is now, March 13th?
March 3rd.
3rd. That's Friday. Kenny, they have to win tonight. Or am I crazy? They got to win.
They have to win not only because of the trade. This is must win. Not only because of the trade deadline, but one of the things that Red Wings fans keep referencing is, we got games in hand over Florida. We got games in hand over half the teams that were fighting for this wild card spot. Well, we also have back-to-backs. This back-to-back, we have a back-to-back this weekend. All of a sudden, these games in hand are going to start flying out the window.
They evaporate.
And it happens so quickly. We need these wins, and we need them right now.
I want to hear from both Spartan fans and Red Wing fans. Is it ridiculous for us to get on these microphones and talk about must-wins? And look, for MSU, it's simple. If they have a shred of pride, if they aren't completely gutless, you got to go and win at Nebraska tonight. Because if you go there and lose, this whole idea that you're a shoo-in for the tourney, I got bad news for you. You're going to put yourself in some danger. Now, they'd still be in, hanging around. They'd still be in.
No. They'll still be in. It's a must-win, but here's why it's a must-win, Mike. If you're Michigan State, you want to get out the first weekend. It's sad to say that's the new goal now.
I quit.
In order to get out the first weekend,
we've turned into OU.
You want to avoid the 8-9 game. Because even if you win that game, you're looking at a 1 seed.
I remember when Rico Beard, the old Rico would be like, man, F them 1 seeds. We'll play anyone, anytime, anywhere. Cutscene.
Now, they did that. It was Kentucky, except you found out they're bad, too.
It's like a Marvel movie. 5 years later, Rico's up here going, I really don't want to play anybody good.
No. You want to get out the first weekend, your best chance is you got to win tonight. Yeah. You got to finish out the season. The Big Ten gods have blessed you with two of the worst teams in the Big Ten. Now, Nebraska's hot right now.
Look,
But you got Nebraska, and you finished with senior day at Ohio State. You're not going to play they're not making up the Minnesota game, or you would have had a trifecta of bad teams.
thanks, Rutgers.
And you maybe, if you do something, you can sneak into the 6th line. And now that second game, if you win, is a lot more winnable than going up against Kansas.
So who needs
going
it
up against
more?
Alabama again?
Wings need it more, or does State need it more? See, I'm with Kenny on this one. I feel like
I think the Wings need it more.
Wings desperately need to get the momentum back. I want to throw the number out, and you guys can go where you want. If you want to make fun of us for calling a hockey game in late February must win, go ahead. But you know what, guys? We're on the brink of people becoming interested in the Wings. Like, we're so close.
But you put it best, Mike, because if you lose and you start going on a losing streak, this team may get broken up. And now you're sellers.
Kenny's nodding in approval. It's either that or his rum showed up.
So that's why it is a must win, because last week at this time, you were thinking, okay, either they're going to buy or they're going to at least stand pat and say, okay, I think we got something here. Let's see what happens. But now, yeah, we'll see where Bertuzzi is on the 4th.
See, that's exactly it, Rico. It's because there was so much hope last week. It was so much hope. It was like, okay, who can we get? Who can we add? Let's keep doing it, making this run here. And now it feels, because the trade deadline is Friday, it feels like it's over. You lose this game, it's done. No more excitement, no more car flag, no more playoffs. It's done. We trade off pieces.
You know what we're doing?
It's over.
We're talking combine and NFL draft.
Hooray.
And Tigers opening day.
And there's going to be one show in here. I know I've got one more left in me where it's like, what's the Pistons plan again? I saw a mock draft for next year. They've got the Pistons with the number 1 pick. I'm going, this is endless. This is endless.
Well, do you take Brandon Miller?
248-539. Not doing that show today. 248-539-9797. I think we got a pair of must-win games. And, guys, you got to have a little levity to this. I know it's not the Lions. I know it's not college football. We're in a town where meaningful games are few and far between. I understand most college basketball games don't mean anything. But I think Michigan State's against Nebraska means a lot. I think Michigan at Illinois later this week means a lot. And the Red Wings, from a professional standpoint, for non-Lions games, why is it wrong for us to go, you know what? No, tonight is very important. Tonight is, while it's not must-win from a mathematical, as we head to the trade deadline, yeah, an often embarrassing effort. I don't want them to peak at, they were in that wild card spot for 2 days. No, I want to take this thing into mid-March. I want to take this thing to the wire and have something to watch and something to care about.
You wanted to at least mimic the end of the Lions season, where you cared about the very final game on the very final night of the regular season.
You and I to chauffeur Kenny to a luxury box for a Wings playoff game. And I just want to watch his happiness.
I'm in.
That's what I want.
You know what? And I'll only say it one time during the game, Kenny.
You only say shoot the puck one time during the game?
One time.
You know what? You can have one a period. I'll give you that.
Okay,
and then we'll look over and David's grumbling in the corner. This team stinks.
That's exactly what would happen.
I know.
You know what? The
about right.
Flint team's better than this.
Yeah. I dropped the puck in Flint. They don't even acknowledge I'm here tonight. 248-539-9797. So that's what we're getting into. Let's get to the people. Go to Tim, 97.1. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Rico. How's it going?
Good, brother. What's on your mind?
Good. Just want to talk hoops. I was listening to the Final Four discussion earlier, and I think, it's 60-40 leaning towards he makes it towards another one. I think this team has the makings of a classic Izzo team to make a run in the Final Four. At a neutral site, they're a streaky team. They can hit some threes. The stuff that concerns me, though, is, Izzo's most talented teams have often flamed out, and that's, he's recruiting well, and going forward, it's exciting to see some of these top kids get on campus. But in the past, we've really struggled with some of these top recruits.
Tim, good news. That ain't this year's team.
Yeah, That is good news as well, Rico. And the other thing I just wanted to point out as well was just like the last 4 or 5 tournaments too. I mean, we played Duke. We got screwed in that seeding. UCLA made the Final Four. Nothing happened during COVID. 19, we went to the Final Four. And obviously 18 was a terrible loss to Syracuse. But again, 17 was Kansas. It's just, I understand they haven't made it out of the second weekend in a while, but it's a little bit misleading when a lot of these teams are going deep, making deep runs, and we're not getting favorable seeding as well.
But Tim,
again, Izzo's made his bed with some of these guards, and it's been horrific with like Rocket, Pierre, Foster, and Kithier. It's just been, those are the guys that are supposed to lead us now, and it's just not happening. So,
see, that's why I said
guys.
no problem. But that's why I said you definitely want to win this game tonight, because you don't want to have to play Alabama in the second game if you win the first one. You don't want to have to play Kansas. You don't want to have to play one. The reason why those teams go on farther, because they were better than you to start off with.
No, not, and look, and I'm not being overdramatic when I say it. State is dropping, right? Like Rico nailed this. If they could have closed at U of M and closed at Iowa, they'd be a 5 seed.
Yeah.
Now they're in the 8-9 game. And if you lose tonight, I tell you don't want to be in that.
They're in the 7-10 game now. You lose tonight,
You're going to be
in 8-9.
You're going to be playing the first 4 at 1 a.m.
That's if you lose to Ohio State.
Well, and you know Tom's going to bomb out in the Big Ten tourney because he doesn't care about it.
He may have to care. He normally doesn't care when he has a good team. He wants the rest.
And I still say, we're going to get into this tomorrow, I think Michigan's closer to making it than most people realize. I'm not saying they're in. I'm saying they're closer. And they can thank Greg Gard and his hatred for mathematics. And for Joey Hauser with cement shoes.